right, let's roll this thing. Will Mosley here, and today we're going to pretty much go over the making of Asheville. I think I called it something like Asheville through the lens of a creative director, or something along those lines. I'm very proud of this film. There was a lot that went into this. It took about a week, I think, to finish up, longer than I really wanted to. But I'm just pretty much just going to run through it, play a couple parts, and try to talk about each part as I go through. And if you hear any wind or any, whatever, it's just because I'm sitting in the passenger seat of my car right now. So let's go ahead and run through. All right, so just start with this drone. I wanted to start with a very nice set of drone shots of Asheville, and I wanted it to feel very like it's taking you to a different time. That's why I kind of chose this track, "Life on the Mainland" by Infinity Ripple, to just kind of give that vibe, give that feel. With these shots, I kind of wanted them to hang for about 4 or 5 seconds, so you can see right here about 4-ish seconds each for them. I hit to the beat, to the kind of the count, so that was pretty cool. And then I started this new structure. If you kind of look here, I led with the hook, the drone shots. There's the contextual, what's going to happen in this film, what we're talking about, the intro, and then the promotional stuff about, what I do. So I'm kind of hitting on the ask, I'm hitting on the hook, and then context, so you know what you're kind of getting into. So,
what's up, guys? William Mosley here, and today you're gonna see me change clothes
I changed this intro clip because as I was listening, as I was watching this whole film through, going back and forth, because it was over 7 days of me kind of editing this, I wanted to really preface why the hell there's so many different changes in here, and I think it flowed really well.
Promotional films. So let's go ahead and hit it.
And we're buffering right here, so I'm not gonna play this whole thing through, but the intro itself, I've had a lot of people talk about it. They love it. Is that you, Will, rapping in the background? No, it's not me rapping. But it's this guy, HD Bin Dope. And I'm not going to jump into this today because I just don't have enough time to, but I'll jump into the intro stuff at a different time. I made a film previous back talking about how I created this intro, but there's more that I want to talk about later on.
This video is sponsored by me. If you need a promotional film, an e-commerce website, or a trade show that will just
if you do need those things,
apart from the competition, look no further. Link below. Alright, let's jump into.
Okay, so with this is one of the first times I started adding the promotional, hey, look, if you need some stuff. I've created hundreds of films now, and it's kind of time to start getting to the point where I'm letting you guys know about what I do on the weekends and how you can kind of get in touch, so because I've had plenty of people ask me, hey, do you do films? Can I get a film from you? Definitely, you can. So there goes that information there. That felt really good.
Do this film. Good morning, everyone. Okay, so we're back on the car mission. I mentioned in the last vlog that I do 3 things.
This could have been cut. I was thinking about cutting that. Skipping through.
Come to town.
I wasn't able to show a lot of this here because the film was too long, but I ended up talking to this woman. She was talking about how there is some guy that got naked in Gold's Gym or something, But as I was listening to this clip back, it's so funny what you do miss, and you, as you're just kind of talking in real life. She said something about it being a few years ago or something. And this is just a random person that I was talking to, and we talked about her trips across the world and doing ministry work and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But I wasn't able to kind of fill that in here.
I do what I do.
So if you look at all these greens right here, these are all talking heads. All talking head stuff. I highlight all my stuff for being talking head, and then you'll see like these right here. These clip by so fast. This is a 20 frames, so less than a second. And they kind of clip by going through. You'll notice sometimes I'll do it with music and then without music. I do that to kind of make you feel the environment when I'm doing it without the music, or I'm trying to transport you just to a place in mind with slow-mo stuff like that.
Login.
So skipping forward.
Electric skateboard.
People love the lift board.
So
Like that. That right there was no music, but it did a great job of telling you exactly what I did. I went into the store, came out, but you didn't need to see all of the stuff that went into it. Like if I actually put in this whole clip, this duration, I don't know, let's see how long it actually is. This clip itself was 3 minutes long. Like, you don't need to see all that. It's just like, came out, talked to the camera a bit more, and notice this is like 10 seconds. This isn't like 15 seconds, so it's kind of flying by almost. This is the part of the film where I felt like the whole thing started flowing much better. Like up before all this stuff, if I had another chance, I might have cut all this out. But I felt like it was going a little bit slow until it hit this point. This is where
good.
it's kind of showing you, not telling you.
I found it. I was looking. So promotional. All right. So as I figure out how to use it or not, so as I'm not sure what the hell is going on, but
there's not much
the 24 bill is not fitting. Time to call Micah. Pick up the phone, Micah. Micah. So, good and bad news. All right, good news is that there she is, the 24. The problem is
So all this was just me trying to figure out how to fix the car. I didn't have to give you the whole conversation, and something that's come keen to my style is just kind of flipping through stuff, and you actually get it, even though you don't hear the whole story.
All right, so we've got a 27 mil, and it fit the part, so it should be. All right, so we're taking this guy off right here.
So I'm going to jump past a little bit of this. A lot of, if you look at just kind of the colors, the purples were the highlights, things I didn't really want to miss when I was flipping through, like being in the engine. Like you notice this blue's not that big of an important thing. All this right here, all these blue ones that I shortened and kind of clipped through, not that important, but this was more important, at least.
So that's our two parts right there.
So continuing
she's
through.
Installed. I wanted to let you fellas know it was a win. Awesome, man. Yeah. I unplugged the battery so I can clearly check engine light. About to plug it back in, and if everything.
This is where it just starts flowing. It goes. All this is 120 frames per second with that slow-mo for the
light is coming on now as I go like up to 20, 30, 40, 50 miles per hour.
This track that's about to come in, I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep it or not, but if you notice, I'm going through all sorts of different types of tracks, but I decided to keep it.
Which never cut on before, so I'm thinking under inflated tires, build of snow, drive on rapid acceleration, broke.
Really like how it let in. Getting to see down like downtown.
I know people can go rush into their court day.
You see that? You didn't have any voice, and then you kind of get a context of where I am, and then it goes out to no voice.
Daytime with the wife.
No voice. Slow-mo.
And like straight.
This right here was supposed to be deleted. Didn't catch it. One of those A-roll things where it's like, oh, I'm going to put a whole bunch of different A-rolls because I talked about the whole day. Bad idea. This should have been deleted, but whatever. Segues.
Game plan is Brick's Pizza.
I said this twice in the film. Try not to be redundant in your films, because people get tired of it quick. So.
Well.
I used a lot of past soundtracks I used when I was doing it downtown, like when I did films downtown previous, just to give a vibe to any of my older people that have been watching my stuff. John caught the intro theme song at the very end that I used to use in season 1, which was pretty cool because I intentionally put that there. All these are 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, and then you change it up. Like, you can't do a whole bunch of 1 seconders. You gotta like throw something in between, and then maybe this is 2 seconds, 2 seconds, or 1 second, or whatever, depending on kind of the thing. And I try to hit to the. Sometimes I try to hit to the beat. Sometimes I just let it flow. I really want to focus on that guy.
Quick update. We were originally going to eat downtown, but we both got a craving for bricks, and now we're going to make it happen.
You see how those are only 10 to 15 seconds? Like, that keeps it flowing. Talking, then roll with some more B-roll. Talking, then roll with some more B-roll. So it just flows.
We're going to make it happen.
Drop.
What's so good?
See, like that drop, like right there, that shoom. And watch this. One of my favorite parts of this film was when you have something that makes a loud sound, it's a good transitional that you can hit into another spot. Cause it's like, bam. So hear it again, watch it again. We were in a soundtrack, and all of a sudden I cut it off right at the sound, right here.
Just saw Amber at Starbucks.
Right there.
Congratulations on your radio.
I really wanted to wear that shirt.
Large.
Yeah,
it just didn't look good on me.
Target didn't have what we needed. Off to Walmart.
And notice, like, I just got done with a soundtrack, so the next part, we transition between scenes, but they weren't with the soundtrack. You're getting the audio of what's happening.
I'd wear it with like a bra underneath it. My clicker's in the car.
Okay. So I don't know what happened to the gay pride shirt. Laura's gonna fix it. Bought last night.
Whole new soundtrack. I was pretty happy with all the soundtracks that I chose for this one.
Which duct tape. Grabbing pizza for the bowl.
For the book and cuts off. You already know what I'm going to say. I'm cutting it off. It's extra stuff that you just don't need. All these are 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. And then the short, the really clippy ones that you see, they're an eighth of a second. So watch this. So you go from 1 second to an eighth of a second. Or not eighth of, but 8 frames in 1 second. So 24 frames in 8 frames. See, bam, you see that? Boom, 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 boom. You line up about 4 or 5 of them up, but don't do any more than that or else it gets too weird.
Just made it. Bricky's here waiting on the Ryan, Joan.
Almost ran into someone right here. They're good sports about it. All these, like, look at them. So I'll throw the audio in there. These are 20th of a set, or 20 frames, 20 frames, 20 frames, 20 frames. Boom, 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 boom. But you keep the soundtrack. That's a big thing too. Like, you see how the soundtrack's here, and it's going. It's still there, and then I'll cut it where there's some sound, but then I'll continue it where there's more in between. It's good to continue that so you still feel the same vibe. Old John.
Everybody's just looking at me. I know, because you're in fresh blue. Oh, nice to see you.
So coming over here, we talked, we chit-chatted, all that. And then notice how I put the drone shots in the very beginning, but then I finally, this is 10 minutes almost in right here, 10 minutes already in. And then I continue with the drone shots. I actually had 3 parts where I used drone shots in this. Usually I just do 2, but I took the very first of those drone shots from when I shot there and put those in the very beginning over here. And then I continued all the way over here.
I guess I'm going back to school. I really don't want to, but I guess, you know, I'm going to do it. And it's worked out so far.
And I still kept the same soundtrack that I began with, hoping that you would kind of come back to that vibe, that feeling.
Done and quit.
Yeah. So what is it that you
Take a shot.
we be guarding it?
Mr. John.
And this is where it starts.
This is probably almost dead.
The intro soundtrack. Listen.
Guarding.
All right, so we're heading to the secret spot.
Favorite stuff. Great. Mix it up. Ready, shot. And you see, so with that drop, you see part of these frames, they didn't have any sound at all in them. Then I allowed you to hear what Asheville sounded like, so that you can feel, you can vibe of what's going on. Drops you out again right here. Kept you in what's going on. And as soon as the drop hits, no sound. And I hit those on the beat. The ch-ch-ch-ch. If we continue with that, like, you have to be good with cutting those off right there. And I started talking before the cutoff. Talking, and then I continue with the song.
We're going to see you on the other rooftop. So, ready, set.
So as that climaxed right there, look, the hand, And you see the soundtrack climax right there? Bam. And it goes to the next.
So, ready, set. Alright, you want to hold it for me, or you want to...
I ended this short because I just didn't have that many more drone shots, and that was just what it was. This is where I kind of did my A-roll, where I talked for a bit, 20 seconds instead of like 9, 10, 15 seconds. I wanted this cutoff to be much cleaner. If I had more time, if I wasn't done with the film, I would have. But I transitioned to hope you guys have a great day, and then I'm talking more about my promotional stuff, which was important. So where in the very beginning I kind of mentioned it, in the very end I'm talking way more about it. It's important about the ask, giving you guys a good idea of what I do.
You mentioned in the very beginning more. Well, I'd love to. The films that I create...
When I did this A-roll, I wanted it to be so much better than what it was, but I decided to just make it happen through some B-roll of a previous film on top, so you're not so distracted by like the crop in of this. And there it is.
And they feel
and
naturally
a little bit of a soundtrack underneath it.
There's several different levels that you...
Anyways, the very last part that I'm proud of, that I love, that was also one of my favorite parts of this film, other than kind of showing all this stuff, was at the very end where I'm like, okay, da-da-da, come check me out. And you think the film might be over, and then it kind of continues with the original soundtrack.
Kind of what you're seeing right here. I'm talking to you, but I'm also giving you the vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will talk to you on the next one. Until later, peace.
You get more of a vibe of that. You hear the bubble. Notice those are highlights. Highlight, the zoom, highlight, the bubble. The other stuff I slipped through, those are the highlight things that I wanted to capture. The rest of it I didn't care, so I cut short. Watch this, listen. You hear those drums right there? The drums of Asheville, but also part of the soundtrack. Let's run it back again. As it flips, soundtrack just goes straight down. HeyWillMosley.com, and that's it. You clip right there. That was a flash. That was a hint that we're having a boy, Maverick. You guys didn't catch it probably because it's literally a 10th of a sec or 10 frames, but just that. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this film on the making of Through the Lens of a Creative Director. I guess Asheville through the lens of a creative director. Let me know if you have any questions, any of that. I hope you took a lot from the style of this. Again, if all this seems so crazy complicated, but you appreciate my work and love my work and want a promotional film from me, I can make that happen. Of course, go to HeyWillMosley.com right here to get a quote. All right, catch you guys on the next one. Peace.